am B. Ramgopal Rao. I spent 26 years in IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, and I was Director of IIT Delhi for 6 years during 2016 to 2021. I am currently the Vice Chancellor for the BHES Pilani group of institutions, and so I am very happy to be here in the Mahindra University. To India, if you look at any higher educational institution, there are three aspects to that. One is education, the second is research, the third is innovation. Right? When it comes to education, our premier institutions are indeed doing very well. We produce good quality candidates. While the second tier, third tier, we need to improve, but the top tier is all intact and producing high quality graduates. And so therefore, I think one thing that we need to do is forge partnerships between tier 1 and tier 2 and 3 kind of institutions and elevate the entire education level in the country. That's one thing that we need to do. On the research front, a lot of publications are being written, but we are still way behind what US is doing or what China is doing. We have a lot of catch up to do, and by 2040, if we want to become counted among the top in the world, right, we have to invest more. I think our investments in R&D are pretty low. Neither is industry investing, nor is government investing. Government investments are even the lowest among the BRICS countries, and industry is investing 0.2% of GDP, compared to many Western nations, which are 10 times, 20 times higher. I think with those investments, the research also needs to go beyond publications and patents. I think the real impact on the ground, the research that's impactful, is what eventually matters. If you look at the entire research ecosystem, it all is about projects, papers, patents. That's what India is doing right now. But I think out of those patents now, we need to build a culture of building prototypes. And from prototypes to products, from products to profits. I think that is when the cycle will be complete. But when investments go in, those investments also need to generate enough wealth in the country, enough jobs in the country. That is when India will become prosperous. That is when we will start to solve the national problems. That's one thing India needs to do, on a very large scale now, in a very impactful kind of a way. And the third aspect is innovation. On the innovation side, India is not going well at all. Innovation is all about generating wealth out of knowledge, right? The value for the knowledge that we are generating. That's one place where a lot of investments need to go in. A lot of cultural changes need to happen. The mindset changes need to happen. If we do all of this, right, and India will be a knowledge economy. And while our focus currently has all been limited to IT, computer science kind of areas, I think our innovation potential in many technology areas has been pretty low. If you look at the 9 out of top 10 most valued companies in the world are out of US. Right? There is not even a single $1 trillion valued company in the entire Europe. All countries have much to learn from how US has been managing its innovation ecosystem. Now, how do you build those $1 trillion companies? I think that is one process where academia industry collaborations become very critical. And all the knowledge that is getting generated, how do we translate to wealth, through all the institutional processes? That's very important. I think that's what India needs to focus in the next decade. And if we do that, I think by this Amrit Kal, as Prime Minister calls it, I think we will be a developed country, by at least our standards by 2047. I hope, that will happen. Otherwise, India just taking research money, publishing papers, filing patents is not going to change anything on the ground. I think translational research, translating that knowledge into wealth, those processes we need to invest in, and institutions have a major role to play in that respect.